The first time Elias Verne saw Princess Sailira of Virex, she was standing alone beneath the crystalline dome of the galactic conclave, her silver-blue skin reflecting the starlight like fractured moonlight. Hundreds of delegates from 1,000 worlds filled the vast chamber, their voices layered with alien dialects and mechanical tones. Yet around Sailira, there was a silence, deliberate, cold, and unmistakable. Elias was human and painfully aware of it. He had been hired as a linguistic systems engineer, a low-ranking specialist assigned to assist in translation matrices during the Conclave's annual harmony trials, an ancient tradition where royal heirs sought political unions to stabilize galactic alliances. It was not romance. It was survival. And Sailira was failing. One by one, representatives of powerful species rejected her. The KRYTH Dominion dismissed her bloodline as genetically unstable. The solar mandate whispered of an ancient prophecy tied to her family, one that ended in extinction. The Arathai matrons laughed openly, their feathered crests flaring in mockery. Elias didn't understand why at first. Sailira was intelligent, poised, and spoke with a calm authority that commanded attention. But the deeper the trials went, the clearer the truth became. Her people, the Virexians, were dying. Their star was collapsing slowly, poisoning their worlds with radiation storms. Entire colonies had gone silent. The galaxies saw her not as a princess, but as a liability. By the third cycle of rejections, Sailira no longer lifted her head. Elias watched from his console, something tightening in his chest. Humans were new to the galactic stage, barely tolerated, often overlooked. Earth had no royal houses, no ancient fleets, no prophetic weight. Just stubborn survivors who refused to disappear. When the final suitor declined, the chamber erupted into procedural murmurs. Princess Sailira of Virex was officially unchosen. The presiding arbiter began to recite the closing rites, already turning away. Sailira's shoulders trembled once, but she did not cry. That more than anything broke something inside Elias. Before he could think, before fear could stop him, Elias stood. I choose her. The words echoed through the conclave like a shockwave. Every eye turned. Sensors recalibrated. Translation engine stuttered. The arbiter froze. You are not a registered sovereign. I know, Elias said, his voice steady despite his racing heart. I'm human. From Earth. We don't have princesses or empires. But we understand abandonment. And we understand choice. Sailira turned slowly, disbelief flickering across her luminous eyes. This is not a gesture of pity, the arbiter warned. Union binds fate, resources, and future conflict. Elias swallowed. Then bind me. The chamber erupted, some in outrage, others in stunned silence. Humans had never participated in the Harmony trials. Earth was considered politically irrelevant, but the laws were ancient and absolute. A choice made in open conclave could not be undone. The union was accepted. In the days that followed, Elias was transported to Virex Prime, a world of towering crystal spires and skies veiled in violet storms. Sailira ruled what remained of her people with quiet determination, though the weight of extinction pressed upon every decision. At first, their alliance was awkward. They were strangers bound by galactic law, separated by biology, culture, and expectation. Sailira spoke in precise, formal tones. Elias filled silences with human humor that often fell flat. But something unexpected grew between them. Sailira showed him the memory gardens, where Virexian children once played. Elias shared recordings of Earth's oceans, forests, and rain, things Sailira had only read about in archived data. She listened, transfixed, as if absorbing hope through sound alone. Yet the galaxy did not forget. Trade routes bypassed Virex. Aid requests went unanswered. Rumors spread that Earth would soon regret its involvement. Even Elias began to question his decision when radiation storms worsened and food reserves dwindled. One night, Sailira stood beside him on a balcony overlooking the dying horizon. "You should leave," she said softly. "The galaxy will not punish me further, but it will punish you." Elias shook his head. "Where I come from, leaving when things get hard is how worlds end." Sailira studied him, something fragile and dangerous flickering behind her composure. "Why did you choose me, Elias Verne?" He thought of 1,000 answers. He chose the simplest, because no one else did. The turning point came when Elias discovered something buried in ancient Virexian archives, data Sailira herself had never been allowed to access. Her bloodline was not cursed. It was altered. Long ago, the Virexian royal genome had been engineered to absorb and redirect stellar radiation. Her people weren't dying, they were transforming. What they needed wasn't evacuation, but time and energy amplification. Human technology, crude by galactic standards, used modular fusion arrays, flexible, adaptable, inefficient but resilient. Elias proposed a fusion between Virexian bioabsorption and human reactors. The galaxy scoffed, until the storm stabilized. For the first time in centuries, Virex's skies cleared. Trade ships returned. Observers arrived. The same powers that once rejected Sailira now requested alliances. The Arbiter himself issued a formal acknowledgement of error. Sailira listened to every offer in silence. Then she declined them all. "We were unwanted when we were weak," she said to the conclave. "We will not forget that." She turned instead to Elias and to Earth. The union between a forgotten princess and an overlooked species became the foundation of something new. Not an empire, but a coalition built on shared survival rather than dominance. Years later, as Virex flourished beneath stable suns, Elias stood beside Sailira at another balcony, this one overlooking living cities instead of dying stars. "You changed everything," she said. He smiled. "So did you." She took his hand, not as obligation, not as politics, but as choice. In a galaxy that had rejected her, one human had chosen her. And because of that, an entire world lived.